Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Heretic on the Dower to Smite-Meister difficulty with fast monsters enabled. Played with the Wayfarer's Tome through GZDoom. We're doing all levels with a 1 start, and this is episode 2, Hell's Maw. Let's begin. Alright, we are now in the crater of Hell's Maw, and immediately we are greeted by gargoyles. But they are no match for the wand. You can prioritize the fire gargoyles, but there's probably no need since there aren't too many fire gargoyles, or even gargoyles in general, in this area. But when you're done with them, you can go into this area with the torch and get rid of these guys. We'll also grab our beloved crossbow, then push the switch and head on out. Because this door opens up and we will be introduced to a were-dragon. Now the were-dragons in the Wayfarer's Tome mod have more HP, but at the same time, your crossbow should deal more damage to them, at least more consistently, thanks to the increased amount of bolts and the increased damage that the side bolts do. So we're just gonna move around in a little U now that the were-dragons are all gathered up in this area. They'll be basically like turrets since this is with fast monsters enabled. And the good thing about the were-dragons, they drop ethereal arrows too. So we'll grab those and we'll finish this one off as well. Alright, now this area, you can open it up. It has a fire gargoyle and some cohorts of his. There's also a Tome of Power, we'll grab that. And we'll also grab the silver shield. So now we have all this stuff. We'll just grab everything else here. And might be time to use the Wings of Wrath as well. Over here you'll find a single were-dragon, but 3, maybe 4 shots ought to do them in. We'll grab the yellow key and now open this area up. Alright, inside this area are a number of gargoyles. You can use a crossbow or you can use the Album Wand. I'm going to use the Album Wand because I like hit scanning. Also the Dragon Claw. You can just use the Wings of Wrath to fly above this lava, otherwise you'd be swimming in the kind of lava that deals damage every 16 ticks, and that's not all that well, if you ask me. But what is well is grabbing the green key, and also over here you can open this part up. It's not a secret, but it does give you a Mystic Urn. And if you drop down here, you can just go into the middle there, which will teleport you away, but we're going to go on this side to grab the Quartz Flask, just in case. Alright, so now we have all that. We're going to go up here, open this area up, kill the were-dragon right here. But before we go into the exit, we are going to go back through this area with a Shadow Sphere and a Hell Staff, which is basically the plasma gun of the game, of course, but it's a little change in the Wayfarer and the Wayfarer's Tome, but I'll show you that in the next level. But that's the crater, and yeah, it's a pretty short map, so I don't have much to say about it. So let's go onwards into the lava pits. Alright, the lava pits. We are going to just run straight towards the ethereal arrows because we are going to meet a new enemy here, and that new enemy is the Saber Claw. If you look carefully, you'll see that some of the platforms are more dully colored than the other ones. That means they'll fall into the lava if you run over them. But that's fine. We don't really need to stick around in this area for too long. We do need to go into here and clear out this mess of saber claws and whatnot. Some of them like to be sneaky, but 2 shots with the crossbow ought to do each of them in. We'll also grab the yellow key over there, as well as some more ethereal arrows. And we'll do something else too. We'll actually drop down into this pit so we can fight these guys. Also grab the bag of holding, kill the gargoyles. Just take all we can in this little spot right here. As for this fellow, we'll finish him off with the wand. And that should be it. We'll now use the Wings of Wrath to get back up here. I think that's the only way you can get back up here. And we'll just fly up this area right here, because there's something we need to get. It's a Tome of Power right here. Also need to dance along this area so something opens up down here. It's a secret with a Shadow Sphere, but also there'll be a Disciple waiting for you when you grab it. So be careful around there. When you're done, you can go into this area now with 2 yellow doors. Both of them lead into what is essentially the same area, but we're going to clear both of them out. Up here are some gargoyles, and like I said, this part is rather symmetrical. So let's get rid of these guys and go into this area and clear out this guy too. So when we're done with all that, we can push the button and meet some more saber claws. We'll just get rid of them like so. And when we go up the stairs all the way, we'll turn around instead of going forward, because there are some more enemies here in this area. And there's also a Chaos Device, which allows you to teleport to the start of the level for whatever reason you deem necessary. Dragon Claw's also here, which is probably more useful than the Chaos Device, but you never know. Anyways, now we're done with that part, we're gonna go into this area. There's some saber claws here. We're gonna switch to the crossbow and deal with them. And then here you can open this part up. You'll see a lot of disciples here, but that's what the crossbow's for. Or the Dragon Claw. In fact, use the Dragon Claw because they'll flicker a lot. Might have to play peekaboo with them because of all their constant attacks though. But anyways, we're gonna use the Hell Staff. Like I said, it's kind of like the plasma gun. But in the Wayfarer's Tome mod, it has homing properties, which helps you deal with enemies in wide open spaces, especially the flying types. Anyways, over here, we'll get rid of these guys. They were tormenting us earlier with all the axe throwing, because as you can see, this is the area we were at near the start of the level. But before we head on back, we're going to open this area up, grab another Tome of Power, and let's use it. And grab this Morphobum. Alright, so now we cleared this area out, we can head on over to here. And in addition, I'm going to use the Shadow Spear because there are a lot of undead warriors here, and I'd rather not get hit by those axes. I will, however, hit them with powered up Rain Cloud. Maybe this too. Yeah, you can only have 2 Rain Clouds active at a time, but that's fine. That's all we need. There's a map scroll here, we'll grab that. And when we go into this room, there will be 2 of these guys waiting for you, so let's get rid of them. They're ghostly undead warriors, but the Dragon Claw, the Hell Staff, and the Elven Wand should make quick work of them. So now we can go into this area, and interesting note, these little statues don't appear on higher difficulties in vanilla, which is quite strange. But anyways, we're gonna press this switch to open the exit, but more importantly, it will reveal this area. Now what we're gonna do here is use the Tome of Power to open this area up. And we accidentally teleported through that, but oh well. We'll use the Ring of Invincibility just to head on back into here and take no damage. In fact, we won't take damage from these guys either. And you, I'll use the Morphobum just on you. Alright, so here's our bag of holding, but it's kind of redundant. Well, that's fine. We're gonna use this Tome of Power on this Iron Lich. Yes, he returns just for this level. But the powered up Hell Staff takes him out very quickly. Especially so with the Wayfarer, because the raindrops don't knock enemies back as much as they would. But that should be all the kills, and all the secrets too. So let's head on out. And that's the lava pits. So So let's get ready for the River of Fire. Alright, the River of Fire. This one will test you a little bit because of all the damaging floors and whatnot. You want to grab the crossbow and then head into this area to push the switch right here. We'll bait all the saber claws into here so we can fight them more closely and deal as much damage as we can with them. Might miss a few shots, but that's fine. But let's just head on out. Avoid the lava spurts because they will destroy you. And now we're good to go. So let's head to the left side. Grab the silver shield real quick. And now use our shielding to fight these plentiful were-dragons. Now we can go back and forth a little bit between these stairs because the were-dragons don't move around too much due to fast monsters as usual, but they still pack a punch. If you run out of ammo for the crossbow, you can switch to the wand. But there's more in here, and there's gauntlets too. All good things to have, but we're also going to grab this Ring of Invincibility. And anyways, pushing that switch all the way over there opens this area up, which is where you want to go, because there's this guy, of course, but the more important thing we're going to get is this yellow key. We're also going to take a sip of the quartz flask that we found and go into here. Because there's a Tome of Power. We'll be needing that. Alright, for this area, it's basically just clean up. Whatever you see, you kill. You can use the wand or the crossbow. Or even the gauntlets if you feel like it, which I do. For this area, you'll see a number of enemies like more gargoyles and saber claws. Nothing too exciting. But that's fine. Over here, though, you can get the dragon claw, which might come in handy for these guys. Maybe not. You can stick with the wand and the crossbow if you feel like it, or the gauntlets. You can also get time bombs and other things along this way. But we're just going around and clearing this whole mess up. Yeah, once again, the eponymous River of Fire is one of those 16 tick damage floors, which means you don't want to dawdle around too much on it. You can probably get away with moving around rather quickly on it, but the nukage rhythm, as it's called, isn't as reliable on floors like these. So let's go into here and meet some gargoyles and at least one fire gargoyle. So now we met him, we're gonna grab the green key and meet a number of were-dragons. You can use a dragon claw on them, but it'll probably be more reliable to use the crossbow, because you probably won't have a lot of ammo for the dragon claw. Not to mention the fact that the were-dragons drop ethereal arrows, so I think it's a good idea to use it. At this point, it all comes down to dodging projectiles, which hopefully you should be able to do at this point. Now we've done that, we're gonna grab all this stuff here. And hell, let's grab the Wings of Wrath as well. Alright, so now we have all this stuff. We're gonna head back into the starting area. But this time we're going back into one of these spots to open one of these doors up. And I think it's time to go on a Tome of Power Massacre. Tome crossbow is just way too good. But I still don't feel too bad using it. While we're here, we'll flip the switch. And then continue our little massacre. because this side we have to clear out as well. And now we can head over here and grab the blue key and also push this switch. Now pushing that switch reveals these areas, which I'll use to grab the Phoenix Rod. I'm also using the Wings of Wrath so I can grab these without taking too much damage. Now we have the Phoenix Rod, we're gonna go on an Advanced Massacre, because we're gonna use not the rocket launcher property, we're gonna use a flamethrower. Yeah, that ought to work. And while we're at it, we'll grab the Fire Mace, since it decided to be here as well. And since it's powered up, it'll insta-jib any enemy it comes into contact with. We'll just run right into their faces and just destroy them like so. Now, it's a physical weapon, so it can go through the Disciples, and it will go through ghost enemies. But that shouldn't matter too much. So let's just finish the rest of these guys off. The Tome of Power and the crossbow. Probably won't have to use these time bombs at all. But we can get the South Staff. If you enter this way, you can probably grab it. Now, one thing to note about the Fire Mace, its regular shots are stronger, and it will spawn on the map, guaranteed, rather than having a small chance to not spawn. But anyways, we got all the kills, there are no secrets, let's just head on out. Alright, that's the River of Fire. It's a pretty simple map, but the navigation can be a little unorthodox. But with all that said, we are just going to head on into the next map, which is the Ice Grotto. Oh boy, the Ice Grotto. Alright, here we go into the Ice Grotto, the hardest level of the second episode. And it's for one reason and one reason alone. See this floor here? It's really slippery. And on this slippery floor, you will encounter a lot of were-dragons. And all these were-dragons with the fast parameter will absolutely decimate you, because they like to fire a lot. And they can move around on the icy floor rather smoothly, unlike you, who will be sliding around like Tom in that one episode of Tom and Jerry. Yes, I did make this joke before, but it still applies. Because that's exactly how I feel. And the worst part about it, a lot of these were-dragons sometimes will love to deal max damage rolls to you, which is very evil. But there's not much I can do about that because I can't game the RNG. And on a mod like the Wayfarer's Tome, this level becomes slightly harder due to the were-dragon's buffed health. So you better make sure all your crossbow bolts hit, otherwise you'll be in pain. With little way out. Also want to make sure you grab that silver shield too, to reduce the amount of pain you'll be going through when dealing with this level by at least 50%. Now that's only the physical pain. The mental pain might not be reduced at all by that armor, so there's only so much you can do about that. Oh well, let's go into here. Get beat up by the were-dragon, because that's how we roll at this point. Still have some armor left, and we're also going to grab the gauntlets of the Necromancer. These will come in handy for sure, but more importantly, we'll also grab a bag of holding to get more ammo for our weapons. And also grab the yellow key after killing this were-dragon. And we should be good for the time being. These guys are infighting, thank goodness. Sometimes they do that. There'll be another were-dragon right here. Let's get rid of him. And let these guys go at it, I suppose. And yeah, they're infighting here too. Yeah, that's fine by me. Let's just go up here into an area that finally doesn't have friction, kill the fire gargoyle, grab the phoenix rod, and then kill the rest of these gargoyles with the crossbow still, since some of them are fire gargoyles, especially the ones that emerge from these traps. Anyways, let's go through here. This guy's infighting, thank goodness. We're gonna drop down here to get this Inferno Orb, or pretend we did. And let's use it against you. We'll fight fire with fire. Yeah, that'll work just nicely, won't it? Anyways, now we can go back into here, and this time we can go through this portal, grab the green key. Let's finish off this disciple, since he's kind of just sitting there doing nothing of value. And also, drop down here to grab another Inferno Orb. It'll give you 10 ammo. But while we're around here, we'll also go into the secret to get the Tome of Power. And what we're going to do now is suck this guy. And back up here, suck this guy too. Suck him dry. Alright. Potential innuendos aside, we're gonna get rid of these guys in this green door area, because we grabbed the green key from one of those areas with the teleporter and the disciple. And we'll make our way into this area to get rid of some other disciples like these guys. There's a Sigil of Power one of them dropped, thankfully, which is like a mini Tome of Power, which is exclusive to the Wayfarer's Tome and the Wayfarer. It only lasts for a few seconds, like a fraction of the actual tome's duration. But it's pretty useful if you want to deal with enemies in a quick burst. The only problem is you can't save it in your inventory. You have to use it then and there. So this area is the good part, considering the hell we just went through. There's another Tome of Power we can grab here, but we have to get rid of this guy first. So we'll do just that and get rid of the gargoyles as well, because there are lots of them here. We're basically like pest control at the moment. So let's drag them all out. Get rid of the fire gargoyles in particular, since there's plenty of them to go around. Yeah, you too, buddy. It's nice to clear out the exterior before you even think about going into any of these buildings. Alas, the only building you can really go into at this point is this one, which has a potential chance to meet a were-dragon in this spot right here. But thankfully he isn't there at the moment. We're still gonna go up and beat him anyways, because he's right here. Okay, yeah. Let's use the Tome of Power, since we got bamboozled. As for you, you get the Tome Gauntlets treatment. And so do these guys. We'll push this button as well, and go through here to kill these guys too. And look, a Chaos Device. It can help you get to the start if you happen to need to go there. But more importantly, there's an enchanted shield, which we will probably need because of all the damage the were-dragons will deal to our psyche. Over here are some more enemies. We'll use the Tome of Power for this part too, because I'm kind of sick of these were-dragons in this map. They are way too evil. Here's a Shadow Sphere. And also over here is a Bag of Holding. So now we have all that, we can look around, grab some health, and pushing that button, that one room, opens up this area, which we can go into to grab the blue key. And now we have that, we can go into this area, kill this disciple, and grab the Dragon Claw. Now we can use a Dragon Claw for the Saber Claw. Well, we don't need to. We can just grab the Wings of Wrath here. And I'm going to use them to fly around this area because there's something we can grab with the wings. Just double checking for enemies in the meantime. But yeah, you can get the torch that way. And if you also missed anything, you can check around these little holes. But when all's said and done, you want to go into here. Get rid of the Saber Claws. Step up the stairway. Make sure you actually step towards it and cross all the line duffs. Then use the Shadow Sphere for the Iron Lich so he doesn't attack you. Or at least the projectiles don't home in on you. One thing to know about his ice attack is that I believe in the Wayfarer's Tome, the shards don't do damage to you when you use the Shadow Sphere. And neither does the big ball, which is nice, I suppose. But we're going to use the Chaos Device to head back to the start because there's something else we got to do here. There's one more enemy, and there's one more secret. And both of them are right here. And there we go. We got everything, and we're done with the Ice Grotto. Yeah, I had to do a few extra attempts on this level because it's pretty tough. I'll show a few of the outtakes at the end of the video, but for now, we are going to go into the Glacier. Alright, the Glacier. This is the one you see in the demo, which is out of sync if you're playing version 1.3, which everyone has at this point, except people who bought like physical copies, which are exceedingly rare at this point. At least if you want to buy them like on eBay and whatnot. Anyways, we're just going to use the wand to clear out some of these guys, and also go up here, deal with the worst of these annoying little creatures. And hey, look, we have an opportunity to use the staff too. It's not as pokey as it is in vanilla. You wanna know the sad thing about the Saber Claws though? Sometimes they lose to fire gargoyles. Oh well, at least we have the crossbow. See what I mean? Lost to a freaking gargoyle. Pathetic Saber Claws. Whatever. We're just gonna get rid of all these pathetic creatures and go into this area to grab some more health, because it was the fire gargoyles that dealt the damage to us rather than the Saber Claws. Sure, some of them tickled me, but you know. Whatever. We're gonna go into this area now. Kill this Disciple of this barrel. It's a secret area. I believe it opens up when you go down into this area with this banner. And then go back up here to this area. Or the other area. Either way, when you're down all the stairs, you want to go back up. But now we have that, we are good to go for this part. We're just gonna head on down into this mess. Directly into the fray. To fight some enemies like these fire gargoyles. Among some other enemies. Grab some ammo too. And also wake up some disciples. Now, the disciples can potentially be very spooky, but, you know, we have the crossbow. As long as we hit them while they aren't in their ghostly state, everything should be alright. Only problem is they flicker a lot thanks to the fast parameter. Oh well. We're going into the secret area now. It's another one of these more obvious secrets, but still a secret nonetheless. Well, now we're done with that. We're gonna shoot these real quick. Make sure all the pods are blown up. And then head up here. Yes, this is the eponymous Glacier. And all the friction makes me upset. Gives me PTSD about E2 and 4. Good lord. Alright, those areas down there will open up, but in addition, you can also head down to here with a very sneaky jump of sorts, but kind of failed it. Oh well. If at first you don't succeed, try again. This time we'll add a little bit of a strafe to it. Now when we go here, you want to watch out. Because of this guy. It will make your life a nightmare. But hey, he lifted us back up into here, but there's nothing there. Oh well. Let's use the Shadow Sphere for this area. Well, let's use a torch as well. Because this area is dark. And you don't want to be in the dark in this area because there are were-dragons. Almost said saber claws. But let's get rid of them. And just go through this whole ordeal. Through the portal. Into here with another were-dragon. We got the Wings of Wrath in that area too. So if you didn't get that, you can do so. I believe this area, yeah, it just has that teleporter there. Alright, the Wings of Wrath you can use for this area if you want to get up to the Iron Lich rather than just straight running towards that window. Or you can use it for other things. But either way, you can take the portal when you're done with that part, or you can just fly up to it. Doesn't matter which. What does matter is going into this room. And, you know, getting a face full of damage, I suppose. So let's use another Tome of Power. And some of the sippy juice, too. And here are some pods. But when you go and grab the green key, there will be disciples that try to bamboozle you. Nothing new here at this point. What is new is zapping this were-dragon. Yeah, that'll be our new hotness. Of course, there are more were-dragons where that came from. These guys really like to deal high damage rolls to me. But we have the Dragon Claw. Yeah, we had that since, I believe the trap with the disciples in the stained glass window area. That's also a secret. But I never used it because I was busy using the ethereal crossbow. The Dragon Claw seems like a more ideal situation for something like this. And hey, look, a fire mace. Like I said in E2 M3, it does more damage in general. Also, a bit more pumped up in general. But still, not the best weapon. Not super weapon material. But at least you're guaranteed to find it in whatever level it spawns in. Let's put a time bomb there, it's been a while. And also finish these guys off with a sneaky egg. Play hit scan Harry with them. And we should be good to go. So here's another Dragon Claw. Just in case the one Dragon Claw wasn't clawy enough for you. Alright, so in this area you'll fight some gargoyles. Also get a quartz flask, potentially. Now through this part, you want to blow up the sacks. Also killed this jerk. And the rest of these jerks as well. Let's put a time bomb there. Yeah, perfect. Time bombs are great for gargoyles that congregate rather closely. Also can be used for situations like this. Yeah, there's an Iron Lich here, but he isn't that tough. Because we can just peekaboo him. Or if you want, you can play the hit scan Harry game with him too. So over here is another secret. It'll give you a ring of invincibility. You can tell where it is because of the misaligned texture. But when you're done with that, you can go into here. Check this spot out. Let's bring these guys over here and put a time bomb right there. Open this area up, blow up the sacks, grab the hell staff, and then use it to kill this undead warrior. Because he's also a ghost. That's way too spooky for me. So now we dealt with this area, we can go down into this one and blow up the pods. And check out that homing projectile property of the hell staff. Actually kind of useful in this part, potentially. We'll clear these guys out in advance, just because I don't like the way they look at me. Very rude. Alright, you want to go through this portal. You can open this up, but more importantly, you can open this up to get the Phoenix Rod. And when you're done with that, you'll be sent back into this area. So now you have the Phoenix Rod, you can use it to blow stuff up. You can use it to blow these guys up if you haven't killed them already, which I did. But we now have the blue key. So that means we can open the blue door, which was at the start. Now you can fire the Phoenix Rod at the disciples, but no promises it'll actually hit them because they'll be flickering a lot. No promises that the crossbow side bolts will hit them either, but whatever. For this part, we're going to use the Ring of Invincibility because I need some cheese vision for this part. Put some time bombs right here to blow them up as well. And now let's go into these two secret areas. This one right here has some gargoyles still. This is where we killed the disciples from earlier. If you need more mace spheres for whatever reason, they're planning to go around here. But over here is a map scroll. And that should be all the kills and all the secrets, so let's just head on out. So there we go. We are done with the Glacier. And this time we didn't screw up our level progression by dying. Yeah, the Ice Grotto is definitely harder than this level, but this level has inconvenienced me a few times before, mostly due to my own fault, but yeah, whatever. This one isn't as bad as the Ice Grotto. So now we're done with it, we're going to go into the Catacombs. Let's go. Oh, what is this? New music. Yeah, this song is by Visceral Maelstrom, if I recall correctly. It's the only new song we'll be hearing in this episode, so let's revel in it, I suppose. Of course, we're greeted immediately by a high damage were-dragon shot. You know, never feel too comfortable in these levels. Let's just get rid of them. Get rid of the were-dragons while reveling in the new song. Starts off a little slow, kinda, but you'll see in a little bit where it goes. Or rather, more accurately, hear where it goes, I suppose. Either way, we're just gonna head up the stairs. Get rid of all these guys. Gargoyles, fire gargoyles, saber claws, the likes. Use the dragon claw to get rid of the disciple though. And you too, I suppose. And you too. Making me spend up all my ammo. Whatever, we're just gonna push that button to get the were-dragon out. So we can kill him like that, that works. Now let's snipe this guy. Or rather just go down into here. Grab the bag of holding and open this area up to get the gauntlets of the necromancer. Yeah, listen to that tempo change. Suddenly things got pretty extreme out of nowhere, huh? Yeah, this song's pretty cool. Anyways, we went down there to clear out that mess. But we have the yellow key, so we can go back down here actually. And that we will, so we can clear out this guy. Kinda don't like were dragons anymore thanks to E2 and 4. And because of that, you want to push that switch either way. So it can go into this area. Yeah, the switch out there opens this part up. But when you go over here, you'll be faced with plenty of saber claws and gargoyles. But they aren't that bad. Let's just let's actually use the Tome of Power on them with the Album Wand. Give ourselves a kind of weak shotgun to deal with them. A weak shotgun is better than no shotgun. But there's an Iron Lich down here. Before we even go to fight them, we're gonna push that button and go through one of the portals to be sent up here. And it leads to this secret area. That'll give you another Tome of Power. And over here are some Disciples of the Sparrow. We'll just use the Tome up wand to deal with them. Finish them off with the regular wand if need be. Because they're guarding a very important weapon. Thank you very much for that crossbow, and thank you for the green key. Both things I really need. Now you can go down from this area if you want, but instead I'm going to head back through here. Because I got a bone to pick with this Iron Lich. He's hanging over there though, so let's just grab the Shadow Sphere and fight him on terms that are agreeable to me. Yeah, you want to watch out for the fires, because they can still hurt you. He might drop a Morphobum if he's feeling generous, which can help you in situations that will come up very soon. Situations like this one where there might be saber claws and whatnot. Well, I think it's time to go on another Tome rampage. Let's just clear all these guys out, open this door, and murder these were-dragons. Because I'm sick of them. They make me sick. They make me sick! Alright, now we've dealt with those guys, we can open this area up because it's flickering. There's another were-dragon here. We're just gonna correct that mistake. Grab all this stuff in here if you need it. There's a Morphobum here too, and some Power Raid if you want that. But I'd say we've done most of what we need to do here. So let's just head on back into this part. Because over here we're gonna press this button. And we'll lead over here. But we're not gonna go into there too much because I'm not mentally prepared for it. Alright, so pushing that button allows you to go up this stairway. And we can get the secret out of it with the Wings of Wrath, and we can use it to grab this blue key, but you don't exactly need it. You do need to grab this Ring of Invincibility. At least I do. Because we're going into this area. And when you stand on this area right here with the Hell Staff, you tag a secret. Make sure you actually land on it so the tag will go through. Otherwise, you'll have some problems. We used the Ring of Invincibility because I didn't want to deal with that part, and I also don't want to deal with this part without it. So I'm sick of these were-dragons. And I'm sure you are too. Let's use the Morphobum. And this too. Tag this secret, and that should be almost everything. So let's just fly back into this spot, because I believe this area opens up. Yep. It has this secret with the Phoenix Rod. Let's blow this guy up. And yeah, you teleport out from the other side. We'll blow this fellow up. And this one too. And then open this area up and blow up the Disciple. And that's all the enemies and all the kills, all the secrets. We're done with the Catacombs. And yeah, I really enjoyed the custom MIDI that went with this level, huh? The tempo change was pretty cool. And the level itself is, I think it fits it rather well. But with all that said, we are going to go into the penultimate level of episode 2, the Labyrinth. Actually, this isn't the penultimate level, it's the one after this. So, pardon my mistake. Let's just go into the Labyrinth. Alright, my friend loves this MIDI track. He wants all songs in Heretic to be this MIDI track. But enough about that. We have to deal with were-dragons again. Oh boy. I've grown to not trust these guys and their damage output. We're just gonna wand them to death. As long as that may be. You can use the pods if you can lure them into them, but it doesn't work out that much. Anyways, when we're done with that, we're gonna grab the wand crystals and go into this area to grab the gauntlets of the Necromancer. Now, the gauntlets aren't really that useful against these guys, though. And neither are these crystal vials if you manage to slip into the fiery water, the hot water. You can potentially hit the saber claws with the gauntlets without getting hit if you really micromanage your movement, but sometimes they can still hit you anyway. Either way, when you're done with all that, you want to go through this area and grab the crossbow. Yeah, it's just up there, and it'll help you deal with the worst of this lot. Alright, let's get rid of this fellow and continue our journey into the eponymous labyrinth. Might miss a few shots here and there, but we can also use the gauntlets of the Necromancer to conserve ammo, I suppose. In the middle of the labyrinth is the yellow key, which you want to grab whenever you feel like it, to be quite honest. You can just go around all these little holes and get rid of all these annoying little gremlins. And also their bootleg xenomorph friends. The labyrinth isn't as confusing as it looks once you are able to navigate it. And thankfully there's no minotaur running around it to make things even worse. Oh no, that comes later. Anyways, we're just gonna run around and clear out all these enemies. We're just gonna clean up this central area for future reference so we don't have to clean it up later. Might as well get it done right now. Alright. Now that we have the yellow key, which was in the center of the eponymous labyrinth, we can go into here and clear out these jerks. And also go into here to get the secret bag of holding. You get it by entering the room here, which opens up this room. As for these guys, though, we're gonna use the crossbow on them. And hey, look, a were-dragon actually helped us for once instead of hindering us. Thanks for infighting, buddy. Whatever. Let's continue on into this part. And just delete every single gargoyle we see in a rather methodic fashion. So now we've cleared all that mess out, we can go into the center area and clear out the saber claws and gargoyles and fire gargoyles and all sorts of enemies that will be waiting for you in this part. Around these pods, you'll find 2 quartz flasks, which might come in handy should you happen to need them. But let's just get rid of the rest of these guys. Sometimes the fire gargoyles like to deal a lot of damage too for whatever reason. This one in particular is really sniping me. We'll deal with them later. Let's just go into here and grab more quartz flasks. And also go into this little tree area and telefrag this guy, grab the green key, and we're ready to go. Before we leave though, let's finish these guys off. And in addition, there's a Shadow Sphere and a chance to get a Fire Mace in this part. As usual, the Fire Mace is guaranteed to drop on every level it's in, but it spawns in random spots still. Unless there's only one spot it spawns in, I suppose. I could have sworn there was another gargoyle that was still alive here, but we'll just get out of here and deal with that if need be. Alright, so we have the green key. We can now head towards the green door, which isn't here. It's over here. Let's go into it and use that fire mace. We'll also use the bouncing effect too. Yeah, the bouncing still works, but the small spears do more damage. I think at least 50% compared to the old damage it used to do. Isn't too much, but still, it all adds up. Just like all the damage the were-dragons did to my mental fortitude. Anyways, we're going into this area now. And we are going to break out the Tome of Power. And the sippy juice. Look at this guy right here. And we got the blue key too. Alright, let's finish the rest of these guys off. Hopefully we don't get killed by a high damage roll. And we still have the gauntlets, so if any sneaky bastard wants to try and ambush me, we'll just zap them. Like you. Yeah, not today. Maybe today from you. Forgot I ran out of ammo for the crossbow. I was gonna switch to that. Whatever. We got all we need for the most part from this area. We can now go into here, grab some more spheres, and also go into here. Now this part has more were-dragons. Oh boy. Let's just get rid of them with a fire mace, shall we? And also the dragon claw. Over here is a secret that opens up when you're done with that whole ordeal. But there's also this area that you can open up yourself. We're gonna finish these disciples off, then grab the Phoenix Rod, which is another secret. Alright, so now we have the blue secret, or the blue key. We can open up the blue door, but before we even do that, we gotta tag this secret too, and get another Tome of Power. And now we can get the blue door secret, I suppose, by crossing this line def and getting the Ring of Invincibility there, huh? Yeah, there are some guys here, but let's use the Time Bomb. At least damage them. Over here's another secret, by the way. One that can give you a silver shield and a Morphobum. But we're gonna use just about everything for this next part, since I don't really have any other excuse not to use them. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies here. There's Disciple of the Sparrow right there. We'll just raid on his parade. We'll also rain on this Iron Lich too. And we'll also get rid of this guy with the wand. And the Shadow Sphere so that that tornado doesn't home in on me. And that should be just about everyone, so let's head on out. Alright, that's the Labyrinth, and the start is another tough one due to the were-dragons and the fire and ice thing, but not as much as the Ice Grotto because there's not as many were-dragons in this area as there were in the Ice Grotto. I seriously can't get enough of getting upset slightly at the Ice Grotto because it's such an out-of-place level compared to the others in terms of difficulty. Like, that one area is just a huge spike, but then it's just smooth sailing from here then on out. But now we can finally go to the actual penultimate level of episode 2, which is the Great Hall. Let's go. Alright, the Great Hall. Now this level is a little different from the others. It's kind of a lengthy penultimate level, but it's still simple to do for the most part, comparatively speaking. The most intimidating threat, as usual, are the were-dragons, because they like to deal all the damage at once. Thankfully there's a silver shield here, but there's not a lot of health to go around, so we're not going to get hit. We'll try not to get hit. At least we don't have to worry about any Ice Grotto situations anymore, because there's not really any slippery floors here. It's all fire. But also here, we're going to ride up this lift, and then drop down to get the Shadow Sphere, then lower it again, and then ride it back up. Alright, so now we clear that mess out, we can just head on through this area, like so. Grab the Tome of Power as well, and head on into here. Now we've cleared out the Saber Claws, we can grab this Bag of Holding. This doesn't really have any value, but this does. So now let's go into this area and take a right into this part too. Because over here, we'll find a torch. Might come in handy later. There's also the yellow door right there. But we don't have a key for it, so we'll be back. Speaking of keys, there it is right there. We're just gonna clear out this with the crossbow. Also lower the key by flipping the switch. If you need anything, you can just go around these crates and grab it. Might have to do a little bit of platforming, but it's nothing too consequential if you don't do the platforming. Anyways, now we have the yellow key, we can open up the yellow door. But in addition, we have to go through this area, clear it out. Get the gauntlets of the Necromancer. Let's also clear out this undead warrior and his friends that are in here, like this Nitro Golem guarding the switch. And that switch opens up this area. Now the place you want to go regarding this area is over here. Open this door up. Grab the map scroll. And you should be good to go. But we're going to revisit that part later. More importantly, we're going to get rid of these were-dragons. A blight upon the earth. Over here, you can grab the Dragon Claw and push that switch, which will come in handy very soon because that switch, I believe, lowers a platform with the green key. If we open this room and then flip that switch, I believe that the platform with the green key wouldn't have lowered. Anyways, we're gonna grab some crystal vials before we go anywhere else. We're gonna double check this room as well to make sure we got everything. Alright, we should be good to go. So let's go down this stairway. Get rid of the gargoyles and whatnot. They're garbage friends. Let's use this egg. Yeah, that ought to do it. Alright, so this area has 2 lifts that raise and lower. We're gonna ride the one on the right. Unless there's a gargoyle that ruins everything. Thanks, now I have to wait again. Oh well. I got plenty of time. Now, we're gonna do a little bit of a doozy. We're gonna take a path through here. Just drop down like so. Grab the Wings of Wrath. And we're gonna fly all around these parts. Like this area right here. You can open it up in the center. It's a secret area. Make sure you land so you can tag the secret. And in addition, we're gonna make our way through this part. We're gonna break out the Tome of Power for the were-dragons. Also grab this enchanted shield, thank you very much, so we don't take a gazillion damage from these guys in their max rolls. Tag the secret with the Phoenix Rod on the heart-shaped platform there. And also just get rid of these guys while we're around this part. Yeah, let's use the Hell Staff too. Rain on their parade. Also use the wand. Yeah, use it if you got it. Alright, unfortunately we'll have to do another ride through the area there, but before we even do that, we're gonna go through this part. Because it opens up after you deal with a certain amount of ordeals in the area with the stairway and whatnot. So I suppose it was nice that we came here after all, because here's a chance to get some mace spheres. If you're doing a continuous playthrough, then it's perfect for your fire mace, but fire mace isn't here. Oh well. Let's go into here now and get rid of these excess were-dragons. Grab the arrows too. And here's the blue key. This is the place we were at before. See the heart-shaped rock there? Yeah. That's the old secret area. But this is one other way you can go into it, which requires you to go into painful floors, which is why I used the Wings of Wrath instead. Goodness gracious, I couldn't even imagine doing that now. Whatever. Still some gargoyles here, we'll clear them out. There's some other things we need to do before we go into the blue door. We have to ride this lift up on this side now. So, let's pause and take a drink of water. And now go into this area. And when you cross this line up, this one opens up too. And it leads to this secret area. But we're going to use the Shadow Spear for one reason. Because right here are some enemies, and one of them is an Iron Lich. And I'd rather not get hit by those tornadoes or ice balls. But I will grab this, thank you very much. And now we have that, we're going to go down into the area with the blue door. And we're going to use our invulnerability, because why not? We might as well have cheese vision while we clear this mess out. And pushing that switch will reveal this area with a Mystic Urn, and of course at the end, it's none other than a Disciple of this Barrel. He's the last enemy. We are done with the Great Hall. Let's go. Alright, just like E2 M4, it took me extra attempts to clear out the Great Hall. It's because of the start, didn't dodge the projectiles that well. We'll see about that though. But yeah, it's another kind of simple level. There are different ways you can do it, but that's all I have to say for now. We are going into the final level, which is the Portals of Chaos. Let's go. Alright. Pushing the switch will raise us up to here, excuse me. And of course there are lots of fire gargoyles, lots of nitro golems, lots of everything here. Were dragons? Sure, you name it. Iron liches? Yeah, they're here too. Well, one of them's here. Over here's a crossbow, which may or may not come in handy. But we're just waking up everyone and everything that we can, just so we can increase the likelihood of infighting. And once we've gone around in a circle, we can go into here and grab the Wings of Wrath, which is mighty fine to have. And we're gonna go for a little flight. Grab just about everything we need here too. Nice health, by the way. But what isn't nice is going through here and getting crushed. But we can go through here and clear these guys out. Yeah, that ought to do it. The rest of these guys can get crushed like that. Yeah, that's fine by me. We'll take the Chaos Device and then fly into the area where we will meet the bosses of episode 2. So we don't have to worry about any other enemies, to be quite honest. We'll let these guys be aggressive with me. Grab that Tome of Power, or at least try to. There we go. We'll let all these enemies infight with one another. You don't have to fight them at all, really. You can if you want to, but it's kind of wasting time. And ammo. No, what you want to do, you can break out the Ring of Invincibility. Also, the crossbow, because it deals a gazillion damage to these guys. And just shoot them down. Not with the powered up Hell Staff, because they're resistant to that. But you can get them to infight with a few enemies. Watch out for their fire line attacks, because those are the most deadly. But regardless, we're just gonna clear out the rest of these Molotars. Yeah, I told you there'd be Minotaurs at the end of the Labyrinth, didn't I? But most of you probably already knew that. Let's just get rid of the rest of these guys. Can't attack them while they're charging because they'll be invincible, but we will attack the rest of these guys. Well, this guy in particular, at least. Hopefully he won't charge too much. Now when you kill him, you should be in the clear. Because when all the Molotars die, all the other enemies die. Don't know why, but I'm not arguing against that. Let's just go into the portal and end it. Alright, the mighty Molotars have proved to be no match for you, and as their steaming corpses slide to the ground, you feel a sense of grim satisfaction that they have been destroyed. The gateways which they guarded have opened, revealing what you hope is the way home. But as you step through, mocking laughter rings in your ears. Was some other force controlling the Molotars? Could there be even more horrific beings through this gate? The sweep of a crystal dome overhead where the sky should be is certainly not a good sign. And that's it for episode 2. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, because there are a few other challenges that I had to deal with. I'll show you some of them at the end of the video. It's mostly the 4th level, the Ice Grotto, which gave me flashbacks of horrible times, because the were-dragons were doing max rolls all the time and managed to kill me like twice or thrice. But either way, we'll see what they did to me in the outtakes. So stay tuned for those, but until next time, toodaloo. But most importantly, we'll wake up all the were-dragons in this area, because they are in abundance in this map. Oh, okay. And let's kill this were-dragon as well. Or not. 1 HP is no problem for... Yes, it is. So let's avoid their wrath. At least try to. Or you know, let's not.